Hey guys, I am going to be cutting some trim. This trim right here, I'm going to be framing out my laundry room window finally. It's a lot more work than it seems. It's not just as easy as cutting the trim and putting it up there because I also have to plane around the window, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and cut all my pieces first. So that basically is what's going to be in this video. I might turn it into like a day in the life with some DIY projects. I'm not sure at this point. But man, I'm out of breath. Also, we have not hooked up our freezer yet because there's not too much extra that we have. So it'd be kind of like a waste of energy to even hook it up at this point. But we should at least put it in the spot that it needs to go. And then my husband is going to be fixing my Durango, so there's a lot going on today. At least it seems like it, because there's a huge mess that kind of needs to be moved out of the way for him to even be able to bring the Durango in here. So if you are interested in watching any of that, stay tuned. Okay, and for the trim for the window, before I make the cuts, I'm just going to go ahead and pull out all these old nails real quick. I'm just going to use these to do that, and I will get into the cutting in a second. I am back, and there's my cute little drawing for the window. And as you can see, you measure the inside part. It's funny because when I was first taking measurements, I started measuring the outside, just not even thinking about it. And then I'm imagining putting the frame, and I'm like, what am I doing? So I'm like, nope, I need to measure the inside. The inside part is what you measure or cut, and then the 45-degree angle, I mean, if I'm cutting that, you're not measuring it like backwards. You're measuring it from inside out. Just think of it like that. But those are my measurements, so I'm going to start cutting. Now, because the end is already a 45-degree angle, no, that's not going to work. Never mind, because it's like slanted. Yeah, so ignore what I just said. So I have to still cut a 45-degree angle here that is flat, not slanted like that. And then what I will do is, after I make that little cut off, then I will measure from this edge or this end. I will measure this top part, not this part, and wherever that is, that will be 45 degrees going that way, like that. And then since it's already going to be a 45 degree, this will be like the opposite side, I believe, if I'm doing that right. Or this will be like a bottom piece. Well, let me try to figure this out. I don't know if I want to use this side. This is the outside. Well, I don't know. I mean, I could use whatever side I want. I'm going to make this the inside. Okay, so if that's the inside, and there's a 45 degree, and then it would be like this. I don't know. I'm just going to start measuring and cut, and I'll figure it out. So in case you're wondering, I have never I've never done this before. I've never framed out a window. I have never cut trim, but I have made 45-degree angle cuts before, but it was the first time in whatever video that was. I don't remember. But so I didn't show you guys like exactly. So if you're new at this, I'm going to show you like how you do it. Okay, so here's your saw, right? Normally it is up and down like that. This little handle right here, it was tight, so that's locked basically. And then you just kind of wiggle it, and now it's loose. Okay, I had to turn on the flash for you guys. So basically it's like if you want 15-degree angle, you would lock it as close as you can get it. It's kind of hard to see, but I want a 45-degree angle, and lucky for me, that is as far as it actually goes. So I would push this over all the way, and I'm gonna lock that back lock. So to set a 45-degree angle that is not slanted, you keep the saw straight up and down, and you just turn this. So you unscrew this part, like turn this, it unscrews it, and then you push this down to move it back and forth. And when you get to one of the points, like 30 or 15 or anything that is marked with a number, you'll kind of hear it click to where you can, like, it'll lock in, and you still have to screw this in though. But that's how you do that. And then how you do the slanted one is you literally slant your saw and you angle it, and that's how you measure out that. And you loosen it up and tighten it and unlock it and lock it with this. You just spin this thing right here. So I'm just gonna cut these off camera, and then I will show you what the window is looking like. It's kind of a hot mess. So I'm gonna be using like a really like almost like antique wood planer to kind of like even the wood frame that is in the window, like inside the window, to even or make it flush like with the walls. So when I put the trim on, there's not like spacing behind it, because it's really bad, but you'll see that after I make these cuts. Okay, so the end of this piece is cut. It was kind of hard to measure it out, so I measured to like a specific inch, and then I counted the 13/16. That's the cut I need to make. But because that is angled out that way, I know I could flip it. I don't know. I'm just trying to make this as simple as I can so I don't make a mistake, and then I will just make it a lot easier for myself in the future knowing. But I turned the saw to this angle, which is still 45 degrees, but it's the other direction. So then I can just cut that way, and then I have like a bottom or top piece. Okay, so this is the piece that I just cut, and that was the degree angle, right like that, and which leaves me to this. So if you look at it, the bottom piece is for the bottom of my window, or it could be for the top, and then this right here all right, so there are all my pieces for the trim. Someone had previously like got paint on it. I did get these pieces, the 2 long pieces, for free. Any trim that I have, I got for free, or it's like already been in this house. So like I have not bought any trim. So I didn't know what I would get this for, but I was like, well, you never know. And it didn't even occur to me. I'm like, well, I do need to trim out the window, but I totally forgot about that. I just grabbed it because I thought it was like kind of pretty, and I like how, it's just like thicker. But I'm going to show you guys the window and all that. Okay, so kind of step back a little bit. We're in my laundry room. This is the window right here. I'm going to turn on the flash. Okay, so this is the window, and my husband showed me how to do it. So at some point I will be using this planer. It's really, really old. He has so many like old woodworking tools, which is really cool. I'm sure some of you guys have actually seen all of them in the garage, but at some point, I don't know if I'm going to do it today. You guys will probably know by the title of the video, but yeah, I have to make that flush just to kind of show you guys the gap. I've got quite some work to do. He said it's actually pretty hard, and I got to be careful. The handle, I don't know, I just got to be careful because it's broken right there on the end here. But my husband, my God, I can't even talk. I am like out of breath because I'm cold. I don't know, and I'm like trying to warm myself up by moving around a lot. Anyways, my husband and my son just left, one of them to my youngest. So Earl and Jace just left to go pick up some toilet paper and diapers. And I've got to figure out a way to make room in the garage to pull in, so they can pull in the Durango and put a new radiator in it that my father-in-law, or that my husband's dad, that Earl's dad, just got for me. So he got it for like a good deal, but either way, like, that's really nice. He didn't have to do that. So that's kind of what I got to figure out right now. Figure out how to make space when there literally is no space in there. And then also, by the way, I got my ears pierced, obviously, like way a long time ago. And eventually I had them pierced twice, but the side over here had actually ripped out. But the hole over on this side, the second hole, is fine. And I'm like, you know what? It's weird to wear two on one side and one on the other, but I don't even care. So that's what I'm doing. But if you're wondering. But anyways, I'm going to try to clear out some room in the garage, and then I will get back with you guys. Hopefully it will work. But this mama really needs a vehicle that, I mean, now that the snow is actually melted, let me show you. All the snow is gone for the most part. It's just, I mean, it's still really cold out, but it doesn't hurt to have a rig that can like handle everything if I need it to. Also, it doesn't hurt to have a rig that can hold a bunch of free stuff just in case.
I don't know. What are you doing?
What do you need me to do?
Everything.
Can't do anything with a phone in your hand.
What are you trying to do? Oh, this?
Stuff bolts and holes.
How? Well, you can't even see what you're doing. Oh, I see. This thing to here, to the fan?
Oh, no. That's the last thing we want.
Good morning. It's a new day. So the radiator on the Durango got fixed, but as soon as we started it, there's a line that doesn't fit good enough. We need like a little cover for it because it doesn't like fully cover the tube from the radiator coming out. So it was spitting, transmission fluid everywhere. But anyways, I am up early. My husband drove Jace to school. That gives me a little bit of extra time to work on planing the window. And I'm using a hand plane. It's a wood planer, but it's really old. I have done a little bit, so I'm going to show you guys what I've been working on right now. Okay, so I'm not even using the bright light. Like, I'm not fully awake, and when I'm not really awake, I don't like bright lights in my face. I mean, maybe it'd wake me up, but whatever, to each their own. This is a pain in the butt. It's fun, but also kind of hard. But I'm gonna kind of show you my mess and show you what I've been doing. So I turned on the lights for you guys, but I've got all these wood shavings on the floor, and this is the hand plane that I'm working with, and it is broken right there where the wood shavings are a little bit, so I have to just be careful so I don't cut myself on that. But I haven't had any problems. Like, the way I hold my hand doesn't really get in the way of that. But anyways, I have been just going like this, putting it on the wall and trying to put it up. And if it goes up easily, then I'm pretty good. So I just kind of keep moving it. Over here, this section needs a little bit. And this section right here is kind of okay. Up here needs a little bit. And then I've been working on this top part here and the side part, and then I'll touch up the other parts, but that's what I'm working with right now. I'm going to set up the camera just so you guys can see how I use this, but I'm not going to record the whole thing because it's going to take a while. Okay, so I was burning up earlier, so I had to put a tank top on. That is what the bottom looks like. The handle will always go in front. So what I do is I kind of put my hand around it like this, and then I'll like pull it. Now, normally I'm not all wiggly because you guys, I have the camera in the way, but I'm just kind of showing you like what it's like. Oh my gosh. It's a pain. In order to get this better, I could do this part. Not supposed to do it one-handed, but anyways. So I also turn it the other way and go this way. It's kind of fun to use. Oops, there we go. There we go. Whew. Taking out some chunks. That feels good. Okay, so we have a problem. I have a problem. If you guys are trying to frame out your window and you have an older house, it's not even that old. Our house is 34 years old. You would think, well, actually when this house was built, they didn't have that window. They didn't even have the laundry room, so that is not the builder's fault. But the window is not even. It's not square. So it's flush. I did everything right. I'm done with that, but it's not square. All the frames that I had cut, the trim that I cut is all even. Like it matches the measurements I took, but the problem is I only took measurements of one of the sides and one of the bottoms, thinking that the window is square, but it's not. So I was in the garage, or I am right now, and I looked for extra trim, and I don't have any. I basically, that's all I have left. So I'm going to work with what I have. And I don't know. I mean, I'm going to have to get my daughter in a little bit, like get her up. She just woke up, but I'm going to have to improvise, and I will show you guys like what I mean, but I'll show you what I mean. It's easier to show you. Okay. So all of these are the same. I mean, obviously, the side pieces are the same as the longer pieces. So I'm going to take 2 of these because they're the same. There's no point to take all of them. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So first off, I don't know what happened because I thought I measured good and I didn't. That end does not, okay, let's put it this way. Put the end corner at the corner for the most part, and it's way too short, right? So I was like, oh, I'll just cut another piece, and I don't have any more trim. So what I'm thinking is bring it up to kind of like give it a little bit of a lip. And kind of like that line, that top line on the trim, make that basically go to the corner, because that way it will work if I go down a little bit. I mean, if I go down. Yeah, if I go up a little bit. So it makes it so, I don't know. Hold on, let me try to hold this up real quick. So here's the side piece. Oops. It is, it's a little bit too long. This one is a little bit too long. So the side ones are the ones that I will cut down a little bit, and then basically I will be bringing it in and have this lip part kind of be an edge that kind of like I'm framing the window, but it's like covering, I don't know how to explain it. You can see what I mean. Going like that, basically. And then the bottom, that will make it so I can bring the bottom and top piece, up more. Hopefully that'll work, but I can't do this right now because my daughter just woke up. What a bummer, but maybe it'll turn out fine. So until then, I will just put these back on the table. Oh my goodness. You know what? Hopefully it's just a happy accident and maybe I will like it more. It's what I get for using what I have because I only have so much, But one day I will be able to just go to the store, try to match up the trim as best as I can. But if you guys run into a problem like that, I hope this motivates someone to keep going, because it's just like, I just learned to just keep going. And maybe it doesn't end up how anyone else would do it. But if you only have so much stuff, I mean, what can you do? I would rather have it framed out like the way I'm going to do it than not framed out at all. So I don't know. It's kind of fun in a way, I guess. I have to look at it like that, because it like pushes you to be more creative and kind of like overcome little issues, and like it's just a window, and it's not like anyone's gonna really be looking inside the window. We just look out of it. We don't stand on the deck and like look inside, but hopefully it'll look nice if you do look inside. Okay. Today's been a long day. Teenagers. Anyways, I'm not gonna get into that, but being a mom of teenagers is hard. That's all I'm gonna say. Being a parent, I'm sorry. I'm sure being a dad is equally, if not harder, because you're supposed to be the tough one, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, so I've like went back and forth with thinking. So the trim's fine. I finally like trimmed little by little. What I did is like, I didn't really measure with I didn't measure like with a tape measure. Also, I forgot to mention that my husband had taken 2 of the tape measures with him to work one day. So the only thing that I was using is like one of those weird tapes that you like measure your waist with, that I had for myself from like a little sewing kit. But I'm pretty sure I pulled it tight enough. I don't know. I'm just not good at measuring. But anyways, I finally got it. So I'm gonna very carefully try to figure out how to nail this up and hope that it works. Any spacing and stuff, obviously, on the corners, I can take caulk eventually and do all that. But I do want to get this video up for you guys. I feel like it's just been long and drawn out. Not really the video itself, but like days of not posting because I'm so focused on this one thing that I just randomly decided to do. I don't know why I do this. It's just like I'll be working on one thing and then, next thing, But I kept going back and forth because there's paint on it and I was thinking, should I paint them before I put it up? And honestly, it would make it easier, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to make my life harder. And I even thought about painting the wall before I put them up, but I don't want to paint. The whole plan was just trim the window. I'm going to at least just get it up there. When the time comes for a laundry room makeover, I will do like the painting and all the touch-ups. But I at least want to get the trim cut, which is taking a lot longer than I thought, but it's okay. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now. Fingers crossed, you guys. It's a learning process. The simplest thing sometimes, but it's okay. Also, funny story. I was just talking about in another video, I was talking about how I don't trust the Mustang in the snow. And every time I have gone over a speed bump before it snowed in the Mustang, I kept hearing rattling, and I ignored it. Long story short, there's tire chains for the Mustang. Snow chains. We didn't use them, but I'm so dirty. Okay, let's get into this. I'm going to set you guys up and hopefully this goes well. Okay, I don't know what happened, but I only did one. I did the bottom piece. I only put one nail in the center because I don't really want to go crazy with it if it is not going to work. But I thought I pushed record and it wasn't, but I want to show you kind of my idea. So I'm having it up like about there. So what I did is I put this in the center and it's kind of like resting. I tilted it a little bit that way so I can kind of like hang it on this, but like tilted it forward just so I know like it's at the right level. And then I put a nail there. I put a nail about right in the center there, and that's all I did so far. And that is that edge right there. And that's about all I got done. I mean, that is all I got done. Oh. Let's try this again. Right side. Alright. Okay, not too bad. Got off to a rough start, but I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I have to paint it and all that, but at least I finally trimmed my window. Yeah. Let me tell you, it's hard to push yourself to do things when you just, when kids and their crap, let me tell you, it's freaking hard. I was supposed to do this yesterday. That didn't happen. That's why it has been taking me so long to get a video out, because kids and the crap that they do. I'm not going to explain further than that, but anyways. But I think it looks okay, considering it doesn't like go down. I think it kind of looks like a weird TV screen, but it's a window. I don't know. It's a pretty thick trim too, so when it's all like said and done, because I don't know if I'm going to be painting this room agreeable gray as well, because it's a smaller room. Not that that's a dark color, but like I do like the white because it's such a small room, and then the floor is like a dark tile, you know, I don't know. But I will figure out what I want to do one day with this, but I'm nowhere near being able to actually do a full makeover on the, I mean, I can, like I have stuff to do it, but I just really wanted to frame out that window because I should have done it a long time ago. Okay, guys, so that is going to be it for today's video. Hopefully I can get more videos for you out this week and not focus so much just on something, a little hiccup, but I tell you what, it wasn't done how I planned it, but I do feel better, kind of. Obviously, I'm like, I feel good that I like kept going and just figured it out instead of like, you know, not using it and being like, I'll just get different trim. I used what I had regardless. So I hope that motivates you to push through a project if you guys are having a hard time with anything. But anyways, I will see you guys in my next one. Don't forget to leave a heart emoji down in the comments below, and can't wait to see you in my next one. And I will talk to you later. Bye.